What's up, dude?
What's up, dude?
A little relocation for the boys.
I don't know. It's our first Zoom in. We're not together.
We've been on the run here the last week and a half traveling. We got a bunch of we did a bunch of events, a little bachelor party.
Yeah, dude.
I'm trying to pack up my place right now. I'm sure you're gonna come over and help in a little bit, which is awesome. Didn't even have to ask you.
Of course.
Yeah.
Welcome everyone. What's up, guys? Got LJ and Mike from the lineup here.
We you know what I want to get into today? We got the boys gearing up, UConn boys gearing up for the NCAA regionals.
Oh yeah, that's right.
This is their fifth time going back. Fifth time in a row.
It's pretty amazing how much the culture of that baseball team has changed since we've been there.
I know.
The expectation to win it's awesome to see.
It really is. I always think about how exciting a time this is. Like when this is the first time for the last 2 weeks, these guys have no school, just baseball.
Yeah.
Remember how much fun that was to just be like, this is our life. We grilling out with the boys, everything together. This is what made like the memories. You're never gonna like forget any of those memories.
Yeah. No, I remember when we hosted in Norwich, first regional.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what you're talking about. We had all that time, nobody on campus, getting all that hype ready. Summertime feels,
That's it. That's what pro ball's life. But it's like what I talked about at UConn with those guys. It's the last time these guys are going to, if they want to go and play pro ball, like the juniors and seniors, it's the last time they're going to have that team chemistry until they get to the big leagues, because you know how it is when you get to minor league ball. Unfortunately, it's not really a team game anymore. It's all individualized stuff. So just cherish these moments. And we went there at the beginning of the year. So like, I hope they listen. I hope they enjoyed every minute of it. But like, just think about us right now. The group chats are going to be firing off starting tomorrow.
Yeah.
They play at noon tomorrow. But I mean, to get all the guys back in the group chat, watching the games, posting up. I mean, I'm going to, maybe not Friday, 12 o'clock, but Saturday game, I'm going to have a pizza. I'm going to have some beer, and I'm going to post it up. And I'm not going to do any chores. Lacey, if you're listening, I'm not doing any chores during that game.
I'm coming to work for that, 100%.
Yeah. Actually, Lacey can go over, to their house. Oh, no, she could cheer for us. Yeah, she was a cheerleader.
Do you know who they got first game? I'm about to look it up.
They are playing, oh my God, Texas Tech.
Okay.
They're in the Gainesville one. They're number two seed as a 10th ranked team in the nation. So they're going to be fired up.
Yeah. So yeah. What was let's see what Gainesville, but Florida. What were they ranked?
Florida's number 1. So they must be ranked like 4th or 5th in the nation.
I'm looking right now. Wow. Yeah. Texas Tech, Florida A&M, UF. Wow. That's pretty legit regional.
No, it's good. There's a couple of good regionals. I know the Maryland one is, they have like, each team was like 1, 2, and 4 in home runs hit. So I want to watch that one as well. Maryland, Northeastern. I forget which other one. Boston College, maybe? I don't know. But there's a college baseball, like watching the playoffs is almost better than watching MLB baseball, except MLB playoffs is great, but
no college regionals, College World Series. I mean, that's the most exciting baseball you can watch.
No, there's no doubt.
These guys are grinding for like the last moments that they're probably going to have. Certain guys. And that's the most exciting part, leaving it all out there.
I think one thing I remember when we lost in Norwich, I remember getting back to the locker room and everyone was kind of calm. Like we were all a little distraught, but I remember looking at like Kevin Vance. Like I think he was the first one to like just start letting it out, balling. I mean, we had like 30 guys in there crying. And like for me, I was not excited at all, but like I should have been. Like, I mean, I got the draft coming up. That was the last thing on my mind. I was like, I can't believe I'm leaving this. And when I got drafted, even calling Coach Penner's being like, hey, if Pierre comes back, I'm coming back. He's like, you can't come back. Like, you got to go. I'm like, no, Coach, you don't get it. I love college baseball. Like, I'm not leaving.
Yeah, he already
Van Wilder.
Like, no matter how much you wanted to come back.
Yeah, I'll take over my brother's role of Van Wilder. Which brings me to like one of my I wanted to get into some UConn stories. Not really just talking. I'm just excited about the regional, but I want to talk some stories at UConn.
Yeah.
And it brings me right into when I played with my brother. I don't know if I told you this one. We needed 3 games to get just into the Big East tournament. That's how like we weren't very good my freshman year. And we were playing Pittsburgh. And I remember my brother looking at me before the game. He said, "Hey, like we need a big game. Like just we got to all ball out and just lock in, blah, blah, blah." Second inning, me and Pierre, I'm at short, Pierre's at second. You know how you give like the sign, like, "Hey, your cover, my cover."
Yeah.
Just forgot completely. And my brother threw an absolute laser to second. Kid would have been out by about 5-6 feet. No one covering. And he looks right at me. This is like the second inning. He just gave me the speech. And this is what the guys in the dugout said. They said, Desi was telling everybody to grab Brad right when he gets in there because he knew he was going to come right at me and like just like get into it with me.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, Brad comes storming in, and everyone was a little nervous. They're like, "Oh, I can't help if Brad goes after Mike. Like Brad's kind of crazy with it." So he comes up to me, and goes, "Hey, just do something about it." Next at bat, I get up, bases loaded, grand slam. Then he gets up, game-winning homer. I was like, it's something that we're going to tell our grandkids about.
Yeah, that's
like,
awesome.
I mean, I only got to play with you for 1 year, but you got to have, I mean, stories. Those guys you guys were playing with regionals and super regionals. You guys have to have stories like that as well.
Yeah, I mean, my sophomore year was, which you weren't there for, is when we played in Clemson, in the Clemson regional, and that was pretty amazing. Because we went in there, I think as a 2 seed as well, and I remember who did we lose to? I think we lost to Clemson first, and then it was a dogfight after that.
You lost the game.
Yeah, because
again twice.
Because we had to win 2 in a row in the final against Clemson. So I think we beat Coastal Carolina, and I want to say like another. I'm trying to remember the other team that was there. But anyway, we get to the championship game against Clemson, and there's so much hype about Clemson. If they advance from this regional, they're going to super regional against University of South Carolina.
That's the battle
rivalry down there. Yeah. That's what all the fans wanted, and we messed that up for them. But the first game, it was a dogfight. We won, and going into the second game, we're all fired up. I mean, dude,
did you play the second game the same day?
I think we beat them by like 10.
Did you play the same day?
No, the next day. Yeah, the next day. And then I think that night, too, we had NCAA drug tests where, like, you know what I mean, where they're, like, testing all the players. Yeah. And half of us are dehydrated from the first game.
Yeah, it's the worst.
Yeah, no one's, like, able to go or whatever. Or some people were overhydrated. So we ended up being there for, like, hours into the night. And then we had a day game the next day.
Yeah, that's the worst.
But we played and we killed it, man. And I just remember Doug Elliott hitting a major home run
really?
that just fired up the boys. And there's an iconic picture of me sliding into home for the walk-off. And
who hit it?
Huh?
Who hit it?
I'm trying to remember. It might have been like Fuller, maybe.
Oh, it was Fuller.
Yeah, it was, right? And I think Ahmed was at home plate, and I just scored like the
I remember this picture.
And Ahmed's like this, ready to get me, and I'm just ready to hug him. And Andreoli's right behind him, jumping up in the air, and it looks like he's just being pulled up by like this.
Well, Andreoli's his broad jump was probably wild in that one.
Yeah. No, that was probably one of the craziest moments because then we had we were the underdogs and we advanced to the super regional. I don't know if you've been to one, but that was the only one I've been to. And we were playing against South Carolina in South Carolina. We're on ESPN 2 days in a row. The whole place is sold out in front of like 15,000 people. We're facing Michael Roth and Jackie Bradley Jr., who were like, the big stars on the team. We had George Springer, Matt Barnes, Nick Ahmed, Scott Oberg, Johnny Andrioli.
All big league guys, literally
all these guys, and they all made it to the big leagues, from that one team. And we were so talented, man. We should have won that game, but I think actually I was a part of this. Coach Penders gave me a 3-0 green light with I think the bases loaded, guys at second and third, 2 outs, and I crushed a line drive down the line, and the left fielder was a lefty, so he caught it with his right hand. Full like going down line, full sprint like this. If he was a righty, it would have been down the line, 3 runs scored. It might have been a whole different ball game. But just the experience in and of itself, in front of all those fans, and that high level of competition at that stage in the season was next level. I didn't experience anything like that.
Wow, we were used to 200, 250 fans. Half our family.
Yeah, you remember when me and you were at the Norwich Regional, and we're playing against Oregon, and we had guys in scoring position. We were ready to go. If we won this game, we would have advanced to play against Florida State in the championship. And me and you were hot. That's her. We made the all regional team. Me and you.
Super hot.
And we struck out back to back.
Yeah, it was a tough one, and I've struck out a lot, but I remember pretty much only that one. Like, there's not many other ones I forget.
I'm pretty sure it was against Tyler Anderson. Remember?
The lefty?
Yeah.
I thought it was like a sidearm righty.
Oh, yeah. You know what? You're right. I think it was like a sinker ball guy.
But I faced him again in short season, actually. And
did you get him back?
Double. Weird. Nice. Didn't count, but double. People don't forget, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, I mean, thinking about all these stories, I mean, for me, like my senior year, when I came back after the draft my junior year, wasn't expecting to come back. And it was like a rebuild year. It was a young team. And we entered the Big East tournament as the 8th seed, the last seed.
Yeah.
End up getting all the way to the championship game. In the first inning against Notre Dame, I hit a 3-run homer. And it was that was it. That was game over. We won the Big East tournament. And that was pretty cool for me personally.
You know what I was thinking about? This is a good question that somebody had, was the home field advantage. There's 2 points to this, right? UConn was ranked 10th. There's not many regionals that are in the Northeast. We happened to be one as a 2 seed, but it wasn't at our stadium. It was probably 40 minutes away from UConn. We still filled it out. But the home field advantage that you guys had at South Carolina, they put your family and all over the place, right?
Oh, yeah.
Does that, it definitely comes into play, especially for young college. I think about football too. Imagine being 18, you got 100,000 fans, and you've played in your backyard football for the last 17 years of your life, and you're in the SEC. There's a shell. I didn't have 15,000. I had 5, but it was UConn fans. You had 15,000 for the first time against you. Did you guys feel that?
Oh my God,
really?
I think that's why we didn't win, because it was our first time in that atmosphere. And
those guys are crazy. South Carolina fans are wild.
Those players are in that atmosphere
all the time,
every weekend.
And it's for them. So it's totally different. If you had 30,000 fans at UConn, it would be totally different, because even though we've never played in that crowd, it's for us. That's what we would crave.
Yep.
Yeah, I always want to know, especially when they put all the parents in different spots. The parents flew, they probably spent, I don't know how many thousands to get down there, hotels, and they want to be together. And that was kind of that was shitty what they did.
Yeah, and I think we were in different hotels too.
Really?
The parents were. But yeah,
I was wondering if that played a role.
We were all spread out. I mean, all our parents were spread out. No one was really sitting next to each other. So when they're trying to cheer for us, the voices they're spread out. You can't really hear it.
Yep.
But you could totally hear the South Carolina fans, and they were on top of us.
So it's tough that UConn didn't get the home field one, because with that new stadium, like we saw before,
awesome. Yeah.
I think there was something about grandstands. They would have to add a little bit more bleachers, but technically with the grass and all that, they could fill up 20,000 people on that thing.
Yeah,
legally you had to have a certain amount or something. That's what I heard.
I'm surprised being a top 10 team they're not hosting.
Yeah, you got to make. I guess it's about money. It's always about money.
Yeah, but for us, when we hosted the first regional, that was one of the first regionals hosted in the Northeast. Yeah. It was just for bringing recognition to Northeast baseball was more important than that. But obviously, Dodge Stadium could fill all of that.
Right.
All the attendance and the fans. But I'm sure they could have figured it out at UConn.
Yeah, they could have added something.
And that would have been great exposure for the school.
Oh, I would have been a bat boy. Legit, I would have been a bat boy. Full
you would have thrown BP, got them all ready.
You know what happened last time I threw BP? Listen, the kid doesn't play baseball anymore, and I'll never do it again. Literally, it's devastating. We got a little trivia question here. I wonder if
who's the top draft pick in UConn history? I'm pretty sure it was George Springer.
It was George, but what about Charles Nagy? Like, I don't know if Charles Nagy was like really. George was what, 7th or 8th?
No, he was. I think he was 11th.
11th, and then Springer was, or Barnes was like 18th or something. I mean,
you know what the cool thing about that was they got drafted during the game
cool.
in Clemson.
I remember being in Myrtle Beach. I was playing, and they were coming out. All the pictures were inside. Then they came out and said, "Oh, Springer got picked," and then another guy came out and said, "Oh, Barnes got picked." So like they were still watching. I was like, "These two guys are definitely going first round." They're like, "No way! Another guy from UConn's not getting picked in the first round." You've not seen talent like these guys. I'm being dead honest. They're 100% going first 30 picks.
Absolutely. I'm trying to see. I'm looking it up right now.
Here's another one. Which former UConn pitcher started in the 2014 MLB All-Star game for the National League? Started? Oh, it's 2004. I mean, they can't stump us, can they? Is that possible?
There's nothing Google can't find out, right?
I mean, this is like trivia at the bar. You can't look at your phone. I don't know. 2014. Not far from us. It wasn't Ahmed, National League.
Jeter was in it. Let's see.
UConn, no, Jeff Samardzija. That was the Notre Dame guy. He's a Big East guy. Trying to think about some other stories that we had at UConn, even ones that when you weren't there. Are you still trying to research it? You won't stop.
I give up. Okay, this is a good one too. How many nuggets can Mike eat before a game? I mean, I feel like that's just unlimited.
Just depends if there's a challenge. If there's a challenge, it's going to be met. So it doesn't really matter. But obviously now I'm watching my figure, so I'd probably just portion it to like 3, maybe 4 dozen, and then
I knew that was coming. That was good. I
you know what's also funny, and I think about a lot is I remember being my junior year. I didn't have an agent yet, and it's so funny to think about this. But your dad was like always in my corner, like, "Hey, what are you doing? Like, who are you gonna go with?" I'm like, "I don't know. I don't really need one." I just remember walking back to my car sometimes with your dad, just talking about like, "Listen, you gotta get one. This is what's gonna be happening." I'm like, "There's no way this is gonna happen." Blah blah blah. Because I never thought I would go as high as I did.
Yeah,
I was literally asleep during the draft. I didn't have any party, no nothing. I was asleep. Pictures of me dead asleep.
Yeah, but you didn't talk to the scouts? I'm pretty sure he was talking to scouts while they were watching you.
Probably, but I mean, all the scouts said the same thing. You know, It's like, hey, I think it could be a really high pick. Okay, cool. I'll probably 5th, 6th, I don't know, 6th round maybe. And, but it's crazy to think full circle that like, I do remember conversations with your dad, and now I'm marrying his daughter. You know, we're working together. We got things going. So it's crazy to think about. And I wonder how many draft guys the UConn now is going to have. I'm not really sure.
I mean, we kind of started that whole wave. Honestly, yeah. I don't think I would have went as high and got all that exposure if I didn't play behind guys like you and Springer and Barnes and Ahmed.
Yeah,
probably had to look at you guys.
I mean, there's probably times in my junior year they were here to see Springer. You know, like it wasn't even just for me. But yeah. I had full rides to probably 7 or 8 schools, and UConn I picked for that reason. I said, and if I picked the other schools, There's no like maybe I got drafted, maybe,
Yeah.
but not nearly where I was.
Yeah.
I mean, because there's no expo. Yeah, they say if you're good, you got to get to a good program that has credible resources. I think if you go to like some of these schools that they don't know the coaches as well, they don't build the relationships, they're not getting the information. I hear it a lot now, being working in baseball. I've heard scouts have called me,
Yeah,
and ask about players that I never worked with, but like I was at a camp and I saw them. I'm like, I can't give you guys information that I don't really know the kid.
yeah.
Well, what's his dad like? I don't know. They ask crazy questions in the draft. What was the crazy when you did all those draft things? What was the craziest question you got? I know mine.
Craziest question. I don't think I got any crazy ones. What did you get?
I got the Yankee guy was like, do you hate to lose or love to win?
Oh, like questions like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Which at the time I was like, both.
Yeah.
I literally hate to lose and I love to win. It's like, you're gonna answer one.
Yeah.
I was like, well, what's the right answer then? Like, I mean, I love to win enough to where I don't want to lose. I still don't think I didn't get drafted by the Yankees, so I guess I didn't choose the right answer. But I just remember a lot of those little questions that they would ask me.
Yeah, I remember my junior year, I got drafted by the one team I never spoke to.
Really? Oh, the Twins. That's right.
Yep.
That's right. And then the day I got drafted, the guy was so upset because the Rangers came and I went 9 for 9 and it was freezing cold. And he said, after the 4 for 4, I'm gonna stay until he gets out. And he was frozen. And he said that the head scout that was there said in the boardroom, he said, I watched this kid go 9 for 9. He has to be a Ranger. And that's how I got drafted. He said that's what happened in the boardroom. I was like, awesome. Yeah. It's a good thing I didn't go like 3 for 9, 3 for 10.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what we're talking about right now, this is what's about to go on for these kids.
Is what these kids are thinking about. They're not thinking about it right now. I think
it's in the back of their mind, just like it was in the back of ours. Obviously, there's a goal in mind at first. It's to win. You know what's ahead of you right now. But at the same time, when you perform, right now, playoff situation, like high pressure situations, those things are accounted for when they're assessing players. Yeah. And it could be something that pushes you over the edge where you come up big in a situation.
They got to know you're not going to panic.
Exactly.
If they're going to invest money in you.
Yeah. I like one of these questions I see here. It says, if you could assemble a dream team of baseball players from any era, who would be your starting lineup?
And why?
That's interesting.
I mean, you got to have Babe. I got to have a guy to eat a hot dog with. You got to have Judge. He's on my fantasy team. He's doing well. Would you go Jeter at short? There's a lot of good shortstops.
Yeah, I mean, he's a winner. So if we're talking about that type of lineup, I would.
Griffey in center.
Yeah, definitely.
I need a big bopper in left. You know who I'd shift to left field that I like? I want a dynamic guy up front in the lineup, Kenny Lofton. Think about this. You put Kenny in the front, and we get the big boppers behind him moving around a little bit. Then we got some Edgar Martinez in the DH to just get those knocks here and there. Man, I think I got a good team.
Definitely Edgar Martinez at DH. I'm putting Barry Bonds in the left.
How do I forget about Barry?
Let's see. First base. Mark McGuire.
I'm going to say it. I can't do any of the old pitchers like from Satchel Paige or anything like that. I just don't think 81 would do it.
No, my starting pitcher is Randy Johnson. Hands down.
And I would put even Chris Sale, prime Chris Sale, in there.
Yeah.
He throws like Randy. Who's the most?
Maybe A-Rod at third. Yeah, that's a tough question.
You could say Mike. You could say Mate did. It's not like whatever. UConn Mike. I'll play.
Listen, UConn Mike barehand, slow rollers, in and out.
Forget it. I would get yelled at, and with the Rangers, I get yelled at. You got to use the glove. I said, listen, if I use the glove, I will never make this play. I don't care how hard it is. I will make the play barehanded. But I'll get yelled at. Like, and then they would finally be like, all right, we're done with it. Just keep using the bare hand. It's fine.
Oh man.
First base. Jim Thome's up there.
Oh yeah, I forgot about him. Frank Thomas too.
Jim Thome might be the nicest human being in the baseball world.
Dude, the era that we grew up, that baseball era.
Baseball was the best.
Amazing.
I can remember coming home and watching it. Like that reminds me of college baseball now. Like I'm more excited to watch college baseball in the regionals than I am on a Friday night, even rival Red Sox Yankees.
Yeah. Like when I was 11, I told this story before. I was at the 2001 All-Star game in Seattle. I mean, that's probably the most stud-packed All-Star game I've ever seen.
They just did a documentary on it or something. I saw about the 2001. It
was amazing. The amount of guys. I mean, oh my god, yeah, it was just crazy to think about.
I'm surprised Lacy hasn't asked the question if I did the dishes yet. Answer is no.
Yeah. What other kind of stories you got from UConn around this time?
Around this time?
Any Big East championship stories like the tournament?
No. I mean, there was.
What about Coach Penner's with the trophy after you won?
I never won one.
Oh, really?
We lost championship twice.
Oh.
The Big East, yeah. I've been a loser.
Oh man.
You guys were the winners.
I think I won 3.
I didn't change anything. I got no rings.
2 tournaments and 2 or 3 regular season titles.
Yeah. Regular season, we lost the Seton Hall on Sunday, and then 3 teams ended up winning, and we lost.
Dude, now that I think about it, I went to 4 regionals at UConn.
4, wow.
Freshman year with you, sophomore year, junior year.
And then
did we go junior year? I'm trying to think. Yeah, I think. No, junior year we didn't. Senior year we won. We went to Virginia Tech against Oklahoma. Faced.
You had 4 regionals.
John Gray. I think so. I gotta look back on junior year.
Yeah, we'll fact check you. Oh gosh.
All right. Alicia wants to know the first time you fell in love with her when you saw her in the stands, but I'm gonna rebuttal that and ask her about the first time she fell in love with you watching you swap bees in the dugout.
You remember that? That video is so funny. I wish you could put that in here. When she was filming you go up, and that bee was just I was blowing bubbles, and the bee was attacking me. I was just I gotta find that video. That's so funny. Yeah, no, the only thing that I knew about Lacy was she helped me find out who painted on my cabinets. She took pictures at the party, and Dave Fisher was doing the Simba thing on my cabinets, drawing pictures on them. And I'm like, who's going to pay this $30 for this cabinet? I was like, well, we don't know who it was. And Lacy, 8 years later, I'm looking through the Disney party collage, and you see Dave Fisher like this doing the Simba thing with the hand. I gotta send him an invoice. Yeah, but I remember we had fun parties at our place because we were in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
And to think I'd have to clean up the next day. Oh my gosh. We had one party where the next day my mom and Pierre's mom came to the house, like to surprise us with groceries. We're like, just leave them outside. You can't, there's no way you can come in here. They would have.
Yeah.
Jungle juice everywhere. Carpet stain. Me and Pierre are doing dishes, like cleaning them near the shower. There were so many dishes. We just throw all the dishes in there and just start cleaning them.
Down.
Such men.
Yeah, but efficient. Next level thinkers.
Yeah, yeah. Pierre had that. Pierre
Yep.
was.
It's a great time for college baseball. I'm excited to watch tomorrow.
Me too. Me too. It's 12 o'clock, right?
Yep.
I gotta work.
You know what I'm saying?
No,
I
gotta work.
Good stuff.
I do have a couple things going on there, but yeah, the only memories I really have. I mean, I have memories on the baseball field with everyone. I remember the dog days of those workouts, but the real memories are the last bit of the year when there's no school and nice weather and just, I mean, the whole team, not like 15, like the whole team was hanging out together.
Well, I remember when we lost in Norwich and we went to like TGI Fridays, whatever, a picture of it. Every single one of us around that square bar.
Yeah.
Or just like reminiscing on the season that we had.
Yeah.
All of us, dude. It was a crazy memory.
Yep.
Me, you, and Pierre.
The baseball house was never clean ever. See, that's where I learned. The baseball house is never clean. It's correct. But yeah, let's wrap this up. Wait. Can we mute? Is there anyone that mute Lacey if we could, or wait? What
about her?
Oh, when I asked you if I could talk to her playing golf, that was on our record-setting golf day too. We broke 80.
Yep.
Legit. I don't think we took one mulligan. That's why I knew it was a good time.
Yeah, it was a good time to ask.
And all you said was good luck. I didn't know I really needed luck.
Yep.
You hear that, Lace? But yeah, let's wrap it up, and we're gonna be back in the studio next week. So we've had a crazy schedule last couple of weeks, so this is a little improv too right here. So
yeah, we'll be back next week. Hopefully, we'll be discussing about UConn baseball winning the regional in Gainesville.
Yeah, they will. There's no doubt.
Maybe we'll get some guys on. Coach Pender's talk about the experience going into the next round. So fingers crossed. Good luck, UConn, and we'll see you guys next week.
Later, guys.
All right.